This news update is brought to you by This is the 6 p.m. Barbados Today update for Wednesday, July the 23rd, 2014. A warm welcome to you. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Count political activist David Comissiong out of the opposition's anti-municipal solid waste tax march tomorrow. The leader of the Clement Payne movement says while he supports the move taken by the Barbados Labour Party on the controversial tax, he will not join those making the trek to the Prime Minister's office. Comissiong explains that as one of the leaders of a civil society movement, he has to be independent of the two political parties and as such cannot take part in the demonstration. However, he wishes Mia Motley and her team well.
I support the march in principle. I can see nothing wrong with what she's doing. It's all part of a very Barbadian tradition.
The island's senior citizens are being urged to abstain from risky sexual behavior. The plea from Social Care Minister Steve Blackett, who warned today that elderly people were most vulnerable to contracting HIV/AIDS. He says the symptoms of the disease could be misinterpreted in that age group as a sign of aging. The minister maintains that all individuals should take responsibility for their sexual health by being educated about risks.
We need to dispel the myth that the elderly do not contract HIV. The primary mode of transmission of the virus is the same for older persons as it is for younger persons. That is through unprotected sexual contact. Seniors infected with HIV are usually diagnosed in the latter stages of the disease when there is a more rapid progression to AIDS and their survival rates are lower compared with persons in the younger age groups.
Over 20 samples of suspected chikungunya cases in Barbados have been sent to the Caribbean Epidemiology Center for testing. That's according to Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Elizabeth Ferdinand, as she again called on residents to take the warning on the fast-spreading disease seriously. 7 of those cases came back positive for the virus, with one Barbadian who had no travel history testing positive. Dr. Ferdinand insists that the situation is worrying.
Of course we're concerned because now the rains have come in and it means that all those containers and different areas that collect water will be now susceptible to breed mosquitoes. So we will expect to see an increase in mosquito breeding and indices. So if you have that, then you can get more rapid spread of the disease.
And Parliamentary Representative for St. Michael West, Michael Carrington, is appealing to Barbadians to help the 3 Richmond Gap fire victims whose houses were not insured to rebuild their homes. Carrington is seeking to raise $150,000 and hopes that everyone will pitch in to get those families back on their feet. He is also partnering with the Urban Development Commission, which is rendering some assistance.
We are more or less piggybacking on what they do to try and help these folk here rebuild their houses. We've done a rough estimate and we are probably looking at about $50,000 or so for what we envisage trying to rebuild, and we are basically going to be appealing to Barbadians of all walks of life and corporate Barbados too, and any government entity that can help, to help us help these folk replace their houses.
5 houses were destroyed on July 9th, leaving most of the families with only the clothes on their backs. In sports now, the 2014 Commonwealth Games opening ceremony got underway at Celtic Park in Glasgow this evening. Thousands of athletes from 71 nations and territories marched past a 40,000-strong crowd and a global TV audience up to 1 billion people. The Barbados contingent, with hurdler Shane Brathwaite carrying the national flag, paraded about 5:15 p.m. local time. The games will feature 17 sports in 11 days of competition beginning tomorrow.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hey, I'm Charlie, the customer at Don Search on the Alpha for Papa, the original Batman, capital O, small B, small F for short. You call me this is the Nirvana experience. I am feeling perfect happiness, pure joy, and this is bliss because Barbados today, in association with Wednesday 2000, presents Tales of Nirvana. Yes, listen to me. Why? Because Wednesday 2000, the band is Nirvana. This is Chikungunya, the 2040 experience, and what they want you to do if you believe that you know what Nirvana is, and you can get more Nirvana than me, you have more perfect happiness than me, more pure joy than me, more bliss than me. Take a 60-second video, upload it to Tales of Nirvana at BarbadosToday.bb. Yes, and they will upload it to Facebook. People will like it or don't like it, but I know you want them to like it, and you can win 2 costumes for Wednesday 2014, which is Nirvana. This is Chikungunya, the 2040 experience. Hey, for further information, log on to www.BarbadosToday.bb. You hear me? www.BarbadosToday.bb. Nirvana, Nirvana, Nirvana.
To news from the region now, come August, students of the University of Guyana will be paying more for tuition. When the new school term begins in August, existing students will pay an increased tuition fee of 180,000 Guyana dollars, while new ones will have to fork out 210,000 Guyana dollars. Both will also have to pay an additional 50,000 Guyana dollars in faculty fees, which will now replace the various miscellaneous levies. The university says the fee adjustments became necessary due to the rising cost of providing quality education not only in Guyana but worldwide. And finally, an update on the Trans-Asia airline crash. 47 people are confirmed dead and another 11 injured after the domestic flight went down near the Megong Airport in Taiwan. We have more in this CNN report.
The flight from Trans-Asia Airways was leaving from southern Taiwan and heading there. They made one attempt to land in inclement weather and then made another attempt. They lost contact with the tower and crashed into a residential area. Scores were taken, in fact, to area hospitals. Now, the authorities aren't saying what exactly happened. They don't know at this stage, but it came right on the heels of a major typhoon, Typhoon Matmo, which was passing through Taiwan, dumping heavy rain on the island.
And on that note, we end the 6 p.m. Barbados Today update. But you can join us again at 7 in the morning. Until then, log on to www.BarbadosToday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper or like us on Facebook to get more news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a great evening.
This news update is brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Catch the sun.